Now, let's just read this right here. So, Robeezy says the entire video was meant to troll people. Entirely doubtful. What good troll admits he was trolling literally hours after uploading a troll video? That makes no sense. Now, if we remember correctly, even Youngbloodfantasy, he himself was claiming that Gligar's video was a troll video, mere hours after I started talking about it on Ustream. And it wasn't just him. It was Youngblood, it was BlackBusterCritic, and it was a couple other people. They all claimed that Gligar's video was a troll video, and I fell for it. No, I still have the comments from Youngblood saying, it was a troll video, you fell for it, just admit you got trolled, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, him, BlackBusterCritic, and Elite Casual Gamer. So here he is talking about, oh, they were meant to troll video. And now that I think about it, I don't think I ever remember Gligar admitting it was a troll video either, because it wasn't. Just look at all the other Gligar's troll videos. They stay up, don't they? Where did my commentary go from his channel? Look at the Elite Casual Gamer's commentary. Where did that commentary go? They went away. They disappeared. You know why? Because they were real videos that got destroyed.
Hey guys, Youngbloodfantasy.
Gligar is a troll, but there are times when Gligar is serious. I've seen Gligar make some pretty decent videos. People seem to think that just because I own someone doesn't mean that the person can't come out and make a decent video that actually has points. I've seen Elite Casual Gamer make legit videos where he destroys people, and I've seen Gligar do it, and Youngblood.
Here with another commentary for you wonderful people. Yup, the outward appearance may have changed because I switched accounts, but the fresh ingredients will remain the same, as I will continue to make videos since, hey, it's what I do. But enough belaboring. This commentary is dedicated to Robeezy LNP, someone who believes that only he can provide insight on the community and revitalize it with his powerful utterances and his presumptive nature. Surely he can inform us on how we can look good in 2013 and not anyone else, because he is the self-appointed advice counselor for our community. I'll listen in and I'll see what I have to say about this.
Outside of this world is a light bulb still burning.
Behind the almost freakish light show of colors and effects lies a video predicated on making arbitrary assumptions about the community. But Robeezy would like you to ignore that because pretty lights!
Another year has come and gone, YouTube community. In all these 2+ years of being on this website under this account, I've realized that 2012 was a banner year for the commentary community.
If it was such a banner year, why do you have issues with the community? This implies you have little to no problems with it at all. If you're going to provide background, at least use the right terminology.
Or he could have been sarcastic.
Okay, thanks, bye.
There have been a lot of interesting things to report on the commentary community, so with
that, followed up by interesting things that happened in the commentary community, would definitely indicate that the previous comment was sarcastic. So Youngblood made a point about something that really did not need to be commentated on.
that, we're going to take a look back at 5 things that we all can learn from the last year. Now please remember, everything you hear today will be from my own viewpoint. However, all of these statements can be backed up with evidence that you can find yourself on YouTube.
So almost swiftly, you try to convince your audience that all of your claims can be backed up with evidence, implying that you are obviously desperate to make yourself appear like an omniscient narrator telling the story of the commentary community. Your perspective is the subjective interpretation of events that have happened in the community, so I should say that you should not hold your perspective.
The problem with Youngblood is that he blows stuff way out of proportion. Just because the guy says that he's going to supply evidence to back up his claims, Youngblood says, "You're the omnipotent narrator of the commentating community." That's just so out of proportion. The guy is just giving points and he's backing it up with evidence. That's all he's doing.
To quite the high pedestal, it makes you look utterly pretentious.
Or on Blip TV. Whether or not you take this video seriously is your problem, not mine.
And for your sake, I hope you realize that criticism is not a synonym for not taking your video seriously, because if you believe that, you are woefully myopic and short-sighted, Well...
So he's referring to these statements that he's making, and the statement he made was, "Do you like Popeye's chicken?" which is a pretty irrelevant statement. But Youngblood himself has made similar statements before that were just completely irrelevant. They were just longer. Like the one he made on that video that that's on the HeavensLibrary account. He, keep being subservient, fanboys. And as someone pointed out, they said that's pretty much saying, keep being thirsty, thirsty people. Or keep drinking water, thirsty people. It's just irrelevant comments. Like my aura. Or like how I think I know everything about the games. It's just irrelevant comments. Youngblood himself is not immune to that, so I don't know why he's talking about it with this guy.
Well, I guess it's too late for you to redeem yourself. Moving on.
Now the first thing I'd like to look back on is...
Now before we get into that, let's talk about the whole doxing thing. First of all, doxing is no big deal. Getting someone's name is no big deal. The only time it's a big deal to someone is little people like in the commentating community. When you find out someone's real name, they're shitting bricks. That's one of the reasons why I know it's one of the commentators, at least one, that's been editing my Encyclopedia Dramatica article. Because on there they have power word Jamin Williams. They think knowing my name is some kind of incredible thing when I've exposed my name for 4 years on the internet. If you go to the BlackBusterCritic's fan Facebook, it says Jamin BBC Williams. But only a commentating fool would think that my name is a power word. When it comes like some kid acting like a freaking idiot on the internet and you find out their name, that's a power word. Because remember when I came out with Aubrey's name, he got quite upset. So upset that his real life friend came on there and said he was going to fight me. He gave me his address. Remember that? That's a power word. That does something. I said, hello, Aubrey Joseph Taylor. And sooner or later, I'm going to post my address on my YouTube channel. I don't care if people know my name, know my phone number. I have my phone number out to people on the internet all the time. I don't care. People can know my address. I don't care. It's not like they're going to bust in here and rob me. And if they do, there'll be something waiting for them. Plus, there's nothing in here to even steal.
The whole doxing issue. 2012 was a very tumultuous time with the doxing issue, especially in June when the likes of Sick Kirby and in November with Lyric Shooter. Now, what we all know, of course, doxing is a huge issue, and it's really not the best way to go around solving things.
Doxing is no big deal. The worst someone's going to do is call you. That's the worst thing that can happen. Someone calls your phone and prank calls you. Or, like me, when I call, Lincoln Ruto fans' dad, remember that? That's the worst that can happen. But you know what happens? You don't pick up the phone if it's a number you don't recognize. And that fixes that issue. Like when I left a message on Train Boy's voicemail for his dad. I was like, your son's a loser. He has a neck beard. And you guys allow him to put himself in the episodes of Phineas and Ferb all day. Your son is pathetic. You are terrible parents. You need to all get together, talk things out, and make your son grow up. Doxing is no big deal. Just don't pick up the phone.
When you just cannot take criticism, or you just can't take the trolling anymore. It's not a good way to solve your problems, and it really hurts more.
That also reminds me, remember Toke64? How upset he got when I exposed that he lived in government assisted housing, that he spends so much money on video games? Tokes was quite upset about that. So upset that he sat down and made a rap song about me. Let me see if I can find that actually. That was brilliant. I think it was called House Nigger BBC. Nah, I can't find it. Yeah, it was an awesome rap, but I got this man to sit down and make a rap about me. A grown man wearing a shower cap rapped about me. Simply because I exposed him for living in a government-assisted housing. That big green door, I know exactly what that was. I've seen tons of them. I've had to come through tons of them. Anyway.
More than it helps. So please, remember, in 2013, please, no doxing. It's just retarded and stupid.
So it is written, so it is done. Because Robeezy said no doxing should take place, automatically every single doxer in the world will just stop completely and will never ever do that again. Robeezy is now the internet police. But in all seriousness, are you honestly going to approach doxing in such a non-serious light like this? You got Princess Luna, your wacky music, and your high-quality effects, and that kind of distracts from your main point, which is to tell everyone to stop doxing, even though barely anyone will listen to you because you're not the representative of the community, nor...
Wait. He's talking about the music, which wasn't that bad. You know, it was a little loud, and all the effects and everything. When he was talking about doxing, he didn't have any effects. Let's just play it back.
It's not a good way to solve your problems, and it really hurts more than it helps. So please, remember, in 2013, please, no doxing. It's just retarded and stupid.
So how is the music and the pictures distracting from his point about doxing? I just don't get it. The guy was pretty clear. He said it right there. I could hear him just fine. Why is the pictures and the music such a problem? You can hear the guy just fine. There was no real need to even make a point about that.
Princess Luna, your wacky music, and your high-quality effects, and that kind of distracts from your main point, which is to tell everyone to stop doxing.
That's exactly what he said. It doesn't distract from anything. It doesn't distract from anything. I heard him just fine because I was paying attention to what he was saying. Holy crap, if you just listen to what the guy says, you hear what he says. What a concept.
Even though barely anyone will listen to you because you're not the representative of the community, nor YouTube. Get off.
It doesn't matter if he's not the representative for the community. The guy just said in the beginning of the video, this is just, what I think, blah, blah, my opinion, and what he's saying now isn't even that bad. So why did he make a point about him saying doxing is bad when it is, because it's people's private information?
Your high horse, please.
Yeah, it's just a horrible nitpick. God, the guy just said it plain as day. This is what happened with the doxing. This is who was involved. This is what happened with this person. This is what happened with that person. And then he says, doxing can do this, doxing can do that, doxing is bad, we shouldn't do it. In 2013, no one doxed. Let's not dox anyone. Can we stop the doxing? That's basically what he says. And somehow Youngblood takes that and says, "Oh, the pictures are so distracting. Your effects, your music, no one can hear your point. Oh, but who are you to tell us not to dox? You're not the representative of the commentator community. You're not the omnipotent commentator narrator." All that, all because the guy says, no dox pox.
The second thing I like to look back on is the whole bandwagon argument. This argument likes to come up every now and then, every year. And my question is, why does it even need to be brought up in the first place? Ever since the first generation of commentaries, bandwagons have always been a part of it. Whether Big Al did it, Darkness did it, Random DCE did it, the list can go on.
Oh, bang it! I just see those names all in sequence. Oh, Darkness and Curtis. Oh, Darkness and Curse. Oh, God. Oh, that was hilarious. All right, let's continue.
From there, the point is, bandwagons have always been around.
I understand why bandwagons can be dismissed, and I understand why it's the norm. My question is, why is it that when people engage in bandwagons, their videos are all carbon copies of each other and are clearly uninspired and lacking in creativity?
Isn't that exactly what you and your friends did about me? You all jumped on the bandwagon. You all made the same terrible points. You all lied, outright lied to your viewers about a lot of things. You all showed that you were uninformed about everything that you were talking about, especially you, Youngblood. Your video really was incredible. Not because of what you said about me, but because you exposed yourself. Mr. I have not done anything regarding video games since 2003, yet want to discuss video game topics with me and tell me what I'm doing wrong. And then when asked, well, is Capcom cheating the gamers? You say, who cares? You jump on a bandwagon, you expose yourself, but when asked to, answer specific questions, you say, who cares? You guys jumped on the BBC bandwagon. As much as you guys don't want to admit it, you did.
This unfortunately occurs when certain bandwagons rear their ugly head in the community. I do not criticize the bandwagon, but the people participating in it. If you want to be a part of it, at least appear like you took creative liberties to separate yourself from the pack of commentators that participate in the bandwagon. That's why people are criticizing it. And you're asking...
That's exactly what you guys did. All of you guys commented on 2 different videos. You made the same damn points, and the points were, well, let's just say the points were like a nice thin sheet of glass, and my fist made of iron is coming to shatter it. Your points were basically Glass Joe. My points were Little Mac.
People to maintain the norm and remain uninspired. So much for your assistance.
Now I know the king of the...
Uninspired. Uninspired. Points uninspired. Your aura. How uninspiring to talk about my aura.
Bandwagon topic, Dark Kurotera won't let it die.
Actually, Dark Kuropatera modified his opinion about bandwagons, and he hasn't really been as extremist as you paint him to be. So much for saying that your points are based on evidence either. Want to know how I reached this conclusion? I actually talked to him about it.
No, I don't like it when people do this. Don't cut. If you're doing a commentary, don't cut people's, don't cut the parts out. Don't do that. Do the whole video. We shouldn't have to take your word for it. Just like in the commentaries I made, where they skipped some of my content in my video, I went back and just watched the part that they skipped, and the part they skipped actually countered some of the things that they said in their own commentary. They're all on Blip TV. They're really nice, things to watch. But it was just ridiculous. But on multiple occasions, they skipped parts of my video, and the part they skipped counted their points.
The next thing I want to talk about is the age range of the commentary community. Now, as we've all learned from Sick Kirby, it's never a good idea to encourage a 12-year-old that he's the next greatest thing in commentaries. We've all seen the devastating results, so I propose 16 years and older for the age range of the commentary community.
Now you're just making arbitrary limitations for our community by imposing these so-called appropriate age...
Yeah, but he said he recommends. I think that's what he said.
16 years in commentaries. We've all seen the devastating results, so I propose 16 years and older for the age range of the commentary community.
He proposes 16 years or older. Why? Because obviously at a certain point in your life, you should be reaching, maturity. 16 is a pretty good age to put that at.
Now you're just making arbitrary limitations for our community by imposing these so-called appropriate age ranges. Do you honestly think anyone is ever going to listen to this? This is analogous to what you said earlier about doxing. Just because you proclaim this in the video does not mean everyone is going to automatically assent and listen to your recommendations. Kids will be kids, and they will always be pervasive. If they can bypass the YouTube system, why in the hell do you think they cannot bypass you?
I'm not entirely sure what Youngblood thinks this guy is. I watched this video, all I see is a guy making suggestions and recommendations of what he thinks will improve the commentary community. But for some reason, from what I'm getting from what Youngblood is saying, Youngblood is giving me the impression that this guy has put himself out there as the end-all god of the commentating community. And that's not what this guy is doing. I just don't understand why Youngblood is being this way towards this guy.
14 plus, if you have Asperger's.
Oh boy, using autism jokes, such original humor, XD.
No, I really hope Youngblood isn't talking about autism jokes. I mean, I don't agree with what the guy said about autism and Asperger's syndrome or whatever, but a great majority of the commentating people always talk about autism and Asperger's. I mean, during the whole decable with you guys and the commentating community, That's all they would ever say is how autistic my fan base is. How everyone that likes me has Asperger's syndrome. They're still doing it too. Go look at that Helter Skelter rant video on the Heavens Library. You see a guy there saying, you guys have autism, you guys have Asperger's. Which I don't really get. They keep putting Asperger's syndrome and autism in such a negative and bad light. It makes no sense whatsoever. There's a lot of great people out there with autism and Asperger's syndrome, some of the smartest people actually, and a lot of those people we have to thank for a lot of things we have today. I just don't get it. It's just something about them and autism and Asperger's.
LOL. Detect trolls easier, make good and effective points, be able to create quality content with your videos, being able to discern which videos are worth commentating on, and most importantly, being able to take criticism.
DeAndre 4, Vanilla Hodge, DJ SJ103, Death Critic, Fluke Dog, Jack Cooper the Plumber, Foxtrot Delta Lima 497, Jordan River 89, and Andrew the Soldier Hog. Do you want to know what's in common with all these people? They are mediocre commentators that are above the age of 16. The problem here is not age, Robeezy. The problem is how relatively uninspired and unmotivated a lot of people are. You are missing the point completely.
Or people who just don't know anything. Or people who just really are out of their league when it comes to a dog still. Lolsy.
With these arbitrary and senseless age ranges. You are again distracting from the major problems of the community by offering flimsy solutions that will not work.
Here we go.
The next thing I'd like to talk about is BBC versus the commentary community. Now, when I refer to BBC, I refer to the BlackBusterCritic. And in the spring of 2012, after poorly reacting to a troll video made by Gligar13vids,
Poorly reacting to a troll video by Gligar13vids. Like I said, if it really was a troll video, wouldn't it still be on Gligar's channel? I guess it wasn't. I guess it was a serious video. It's just strange that two commentaries on my videos that were destroyed both got taken down by their original uploaders. And what's even stranger is that friends of the commentator tried to prove that it was indeed a troll video, only just to have it thrown back in their face and have they themselves admit that it was a serious video.
The commentary community designated him as an easy target. However, BlackBusterCritic proved to not be that easy. In a fruitless effort, the commentary community only gave BlackBusterCritic even against them. They unfortunately focused on the way he acted, not on any of his points he brought up. The worst example of this was Youngbloodfantasy 91, where he said BBC's mean and vicious aura was just too much for him in his video.
Why? Why won't you people let this issue die in peace? Am I the only one here that will ever have an opposing opinion to BlackBusterCritics? Or will I be doomed to be the one guy that is considered intellectually inferior because I felt I wanted to defend whatever points I had against BlackBuster?
I'm still trying to figure out what these points he's talking about. What are these points? I'm still looking for them. You guys were there several times in the stream where I'm asking for him. What is your point? Please tell me what you're talking about. Give me one example, please. You guys were there, live. Me asking him, what are your points? Give me an example, please. We know what his points are. He said I was biased. We asked him, give us one example of BlackBusterCritic being biased. Give us one. If he is biased, if you've seen so much bias being thrown around his videos, show us one example. He couldn't do it on Skype. He couldn't do it live. Twice. Oh, there's no tension. Youngblood is merely a figurine that I can play with and manipulate, and I put it back on my shelf and it collects dust. But it's there when I want to play with it.
First of all, the whole making fun of me because I used the word aura is a massive Joke. If anyone bothered to crack open the dictionary and actually read what the first definition says, I use the word in the proper context, the distinctive and pervasive quality or character, which I can say BBC embodies as having the aura of pretentiousness.
We know what you meant about aura, but regardless, it was so ridiculous, and it still does not make a point. How someone presents themselves or what they give off is still irrelevant to what they're saying. The point is that you are not paying attention to what I was saying, which is why you and everyone else fell into the sand and ate shit. Literally. Your own shit. That's pretty much what happened. We know what he meant by aura, and he thinks that, oh, this point about me bringing up this definition in the dictionary is going to completely turn this around and clear this up. We know what you meant. But it was still so stupid that we just made it into an ongoing joke. Super Saiyans, power levels, aura, Lucario. That's what happens when people say stupid shit. People make fun of it. That's what happens when you say stupid stuff. What's the problem with Lucario? I always get the smash ball. Pretentiousness. Oh, I'm so pretentious. And like I said, all they can talk about is how I act. Oh, I'm pretentious. Oh, I'm so obnoxious. Who cares? And he himself admitted that I was an actor. He said I was an actor on several different occasions. I believe the term he used was histrionic, which basically means someone being overdramatic and acting. So if he knows I'm being overdramatic and acting, why would you get upset? That point still, it doesn't make any sense.
BBC openly admitted to that, and because he did, I felt he was trying excessively hard to act like he is the big boss man in the video game world. Having that,
I was acting like I was the big boss man in the video game world. You felt that I was acting like the big boss man in the video game world. A black man with a camera. That's how you feel. I'm saving this video. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God, that's priceless. Holy shit. In Youngblood's mind, I am the master hand and the crazy hand. And he is merely Pichu. Just wow. Holy shit. I'm the final boss. I'm Big Boss. I'm the big boss of video games. I gotta play that back. I gotta hear that one more time.
hard to act like he is the big boss man in the video game world. Having that pretension does not qualify you as any hardened expert, nor does it give you the...
Hardened expert. When did I ever say I was an expert in anything? But regardless, when it comes to video games, I definitely know more than Youngblood, which was one of the points I made to him, to begin with. I'm like, how are you going to say, and how are you going to even dictate I'm being biased about video games when you yourself know nothing about video games? And I think that's what he's talking about there, is me trying to be the big boss of the whole thing. Because he tried to say I was being biased in like my PC videos and my Capcom videos, and I asked him, how would you know if you yourself admit that you don't know anything about video games? And he never had a comeback for that. All he can really do is say, I'm the big boss. Well, like I've said to you guys over and over again, I only speak the facts. I only give you solid information. Nothing I give you can't be found already on the internet. It's only information. Information is something that's available at everyone's fingertips. It's there on the internet if you just look for it. Which is why in my commentaries that I made on their videos, that's why they were so long. Because they had so many things wrong with it. About every 5 seconds it said something wrong and I had to correct them. That just shows how inconceivable and how ignorant they are when it comes to these subjects. It also goes to show you how social conformity can bring down a community. They were so bent on being wrong together that no one in that community wanted to take a moment to look at the facts to be right once. Isn't that sad? If one of them is going to be wrong, they're all going to be wrong together. I guess what I think basically, if one of them goes down, the other ones will try to, go down with them. That way, if everyone looks bad, then I guess it kind of looks like, well, I guess they all can't be wrong. I guess they're right in the end. You get nothing! You lose! Good day, sir! I kicked them out of my factory. That movie is so awesome. I just gotta play this part back again. This is priceless.
Because I felt I wanted to defend whatever points I had against BlackBusterCritic.
Whatever points I had against BlackBusterCritic.
First of all, the whole making fun of me because I used the word or is a massive joke.
Exactly. It is a joke. Why are you getting mad about a joke?
If anyone bothered to crack open the dictionary and actually read what the first definition says, I used the word in the proper context. The distinctive...
We know, but that's the point. That it was a terrible point. This boy is mad about a joke.
...than pervasive quality or character, which I can say BBC embodies as having the aura of pretentiousness. BBC openly admitted to that, and because he did...
Yes, I can be pretentious all day. That doesn't mean I'm wrong. I can admit to being obnoxious. I can admit to being evil. I don't care. But am I wrong? No. And that's all that matters to me. I don't care if I'm a dick. I don't care if I'm a jerk. I don't care. I've done a lot of terrible things. I have, but I don't care. Yeah, Dark Kuro, you're actually one of the commentators that escaped my list. There are many that escaped the list. They were all just laying themselves like boards. Like there's like a bridge and there's just ropes. And here comes the commentator community just laying across these ropes. I could step on them one at a time to get across. No, the thing is with you is that you didn't follow the crowd. That's what you did. You didn't follow the crowd.
I felt he was trying excessively hard to act like he is the big boss man in the video game world.
I was trying excessively hard to be the big boss man of the gaming world. Even though I say it all the time, I'm just a black man with a camera. If I seem to be anything else more than that to a person, there's something wrong with you. I have said that so many times. How many times do I have to say that?
Having that pretension does not qualify you as any hardened expert, nor does it give you the right to label others as intellectually inferior if they have legitimate problems with what you say and how you say it.
Legitimate problems with what I say and how I say it? There shouldn't be a problem with what I say because what I said was factual. So let's just put that one away. How I say it doesn't matter. It just brings up the same point again, that he admits that I was being overdramatic. He admits that I've already said, yes, I like to be pretentious. I like to be obnoxious. I like to be a lot of terrible things. I've admitted this to him, yet he's still bothered by the way I act in my videos. And he sounds quite mad, too. And he sounds quite mad.
I am terribly sorry that I feel the BBC and others are wasting their time trying to promote their childish opinions about toys.
Opinions. Not once. And I asked Youngblood this as well. I asked him this in Ustream and in a Skype chat, and you guys all heard it. You guys were there. Give me one opinion that I have stated. Just one. He couldn't do it. Yet he sticks to the point that I am giving opinions. It's just incredible. Absolutely incredible. And that's why, yes, I do call Youngblood a lower intellectual than me. Because he let me manipulate him. He let the way I act affect him mentally and emotionally. When you let a black man on the internet, and I keep saying that over and over again because that's all I am. I'm merely a black man with a camera! And you let a black man with a camera affect the way you feel and the way you think.
I'm terribly sorry that I feel the BBC and others are wasting their time trying to promote their childish opinion.
So what's a bigger waste of time? Me stating facts about how gamers are being cheated and giving the facts about, PC gaming, consoles, EA, Capcom, DLC, and all that. It's a waste of time informing people of the facts, but what about, making videos and commentaries about facts, going against the facts? Or how about your comments here about me stating the facts? Isn't it a waste of time to complain about a waste of time? Doesn't that kind of stack?
About toys and video games. If you really want to expend so much energy debating over this nonsense, then I guess I cannot deter you from making ridiculous notions about how others should play video games and what gamers should play one or the other. And
this boy has not learned at all. Wow. You know what? I think Gligar is smarter than this guy. Seriously. I mean, seriously, this video is awful. And he's mad. No, Gligar is pretty smart. I can see that for some of his videos. You gotta watch the ones that aren't necessarily trolling videos. But I don't let my situation with other people cloud my judgment about those particular people. I don't. And like I said earlier, I've watched these guys' videos and I've seen them own people. I can hear, I can smell, I can taste the facts that were coming out of their videos. It was delicious. They were destroying people. But I guess it just doesn't work the other way around. I guess they accept what I say until I dip into their pool. And that's when, oh shit, BBC is the biggest big boss bad guy ever!
Here's a secret I want to share. Everyone in the known world has what is known as bias. I have bias. You have bias. Robeezy has bias. And sorry, but your gut.
He brought this up as well.
BBC has bias too, whether he admits it or not.
You guys remember when Youngblood said this as well? Remember that? Remember when I asked Youngblood for one example of me being biased in my videos? And all he said was, your Capcom video. I'm like, okay, anyone can just give a title of a video. Can you give me one example in that video that I was being biased? He couldn't do that. He couldn't give one example, yet here he is again making these claims with nothing, absolutely nothing to back it up. And he acts like bias is a bad thing. You can be biased yet still tell the truth. You can be biased and yet still give facts. I have bias. I would generally help a woman before I help a man because I love the pussy. That's not a bad bias. But regardless, I still help everyone. I'm more protective over my sisters than I am my brother. That's bias. But that's because they're more vulnerable to assholes than my brother is. I'm more protective of women than I am men. Because they're, most of the time, nothing against women. They're most of the time weaker than us. And guys are assholes. And it kind of runs a little deep with me because I was in that situation. But one of the main reasons why I am more biased towards women than I am men is because of, you guys knew I work security. You guys know I saw a lot of terrible things. I truly believe that most guys are assholes and dicks. Most guys. That's just what I think. That's why, just the shit that I saw, it was bad. I'm not going to think about it because I don't want to get emotional, but it was definitely bad. But then we have kids like Youngblood, who's under the impression that he can take something as simple as bias and make it into a negative thing as if all bias is a bad thing. Bias is only bad when that bias that you have is causing you to misshape the truth, to skew the truth, to make up lies, to make your points. Youngblood is in fact biased about me, because Youngblood will say whatever he wants about me, yet will not give a single example to support anything he says. Which is why I say Youngblood is indeed of a lower intellectual level. You can be smart all day, all night, but what you do with your intelligence, how you coordinate that into words, into points, is what's important. You can sit there and memorize the dictionary and a thesaurus all day. You can sit there and do trivia all day and know all these facts, but until you can incorporate that into something, it's useless. Which is why he failed so hard when it came to debating me. My aura is pretty pretentious right now, I say. I'm not biased against Youngblood. I've seen Youngblood do some pretty good videos. I have. It's just that Youngblood simply just, for some reason, when it comes to stuff like this, he's just off his game. He really is just off his game.
You cannot be completely impartial, otherwise you are not human and are an unrealistic manifestation of impartiality. And you, Robeezy, demonstrated your deeply ingrained bias when you quickly criticized me for what I said and what the commentary community had said, and assumed that the commentary community flagged BBC's videos down, when in reality you cannot prove that one way or the other.
I don't remember that part. Did you guys hear the part where that Robeezy guy said that they flagged my video down? So now we don't know whether or not it was in his video and he cut it out, or if it was like in a comment or something elsewhere. So pretty much Youngblood is talking about things in a video that he's not showing, so we don't know whether or not we can listen to him, but the people who follow Youngblood will more than likely just listen to him and take it at face value because Youngblood is Youngblood. But he more than likely cut it out. It would have been nice to hear it for ourselves so we can kind of keep up with a commentary, because in my opinion, cutting out someone's content when you're doing a commentary is pretty disrespectful. When someone, like, I think it was in Leedy's video, it was taking too long, so what I did was I didn't cut out content, I sped it up. I took it from this long and sped it up to where it played for that long. But you could still hear everything that was being said.
You interpret BBC as your savior, and you assume people can learn from him. You make assumptions about how other people think, which is what BBC does, and the other. You interpret BBC as your savior.
You interpret BBC as your savior. Maybe the man just knows that I'll give him the straight facts. Maybe that's why the guy likes me. Exactly. Like, even when I was gone for a long period of time, people were still making videos about me. And one guy even went so far as to send me the video.
And you assume people can learn from him. You make assumptions about how other people think.
People can learn from me. And it's pretty easy to tell what people think when you watch their video. In a video, you have people's thoughts. Their thought process is there. And when you watch several of their videos, you see a pattern. So it's a very good way to see how people think. We know how Youngblood thinks. We have that down to a T. It takes thought to put a video together. Yeah, and you can learn from everyone. The way I see it, every person I come in contact with, I learn from. Anyone that I ever exchange a message with, I learn from. Every single experience, no matter how small, adds something to your life. That's the way I see it. Gavin, I am God, Gavin!
Which is what BBC does, and these assumptions manifest themselves into nothing more than playground insults.
Insults? As in, like, name-calling. Wouldn't just calling someone pretentious, isn't that, like, smart name-calling? But I don't just outright insult people. I insult them, tell them why I insult them, then insult them again. Insult, facts, insult. And I usually put it in parameters, too, on who the insult applies to. I'm like, you're a massive fanboy who likes it in the ass if you do this, 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 this. If you don't do any of that, then obviously you're not a part of what I'm talking about. So anyone that feels insulted will only incriminate themselves. They apply themselves to the insult, which is the best way to do it. Like I said before, she just said it. Don't be offended if you're not an offender. I just can't believe you're biased against people who talk about you being biased. Just a big circle of crap. Biasception. And I remember specifically, I remember seeing somewhere where someone told Youngblood that I said I didn't think he was very smart. And his response was, how can you not think I'm smart? I go to college. Wish I still had that. I gotta see if I can find that again. Yes, because only smart people go to college. There's nothing to piece up. I don't ever have to get apologies from someone. I don't ever need someone, to tell me that they admit that they were wrong or anything. All I want them to do is just listen to the facts. That's all I want. That's all I want. Yet people submit all the time. You guys remember VTech USA? Yeah, you own me in this debate. And you got the GameStop manager. Destroyed him. You got Shipshore. He admitted he was wrong. Everyone I debate, even Heavy Base X, he admitted he was wrong and apologized for wasting my time. I didn't tell him to apologize. And I treated Turo very well. I didn't say anything bad to him. We were talking. I was like, yeah. But what about this? So if you say that, basically you're saying this. So essentially you counted yourself and you are now going to admit that you were wrong, blah, blah. Yeah, I mean, I attacked Alex Henriel and BlackBusterCritic. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. If you spout shit, you're going to get this shit right here. The only difference with BlackBusterCritic is that she pretty much owned herself like everyone else. You guys see, like I told you guys plenty of times before, it doesn't matter whether they're male, female, black, white, Asian. It doesn't matter what their religion is, what their beliefs are, what their ethnicity is, what their race is, what their gender is, what their age is. It doesn't matter. I make all these people do the exact same thing over and over and over again. Yet none of them see it. None of them see it. And once I put the whole map together and just, I gotta make a list of everyone that I have owned. Everyone. And we'll go through each one and we'll show you exactly the things that they've done. And we'll show you how everyone did the same thing. Except Alex Henriel. Alex Henriel was the only person I talked about that didn't get upset, didn't really care, and later on told me I was cute. She was the only one that did not care. She didn't make any excuses for herself. She was just like, I like what I like. I want to be famous. And if you don't like it, fuck off. That's basically what she told me. It was all her little fans that were the easy targets. They went ballistic. Alex Henriel, she didn't have anything to say. She was like, yeah, I am a freak. Yeah, it is weird I like Sonic like that. But, I kind of just do it for attention, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I feel so bad for Alex, though. She's really sick right now. Like, really, really sick. From her Botox poisoning. Like, she's really sick, guys. Like, she's talking about, like, it kind of upsets me. Because I do care about her. She's talking about, like, why am I even alive right now? I don't even want to be alive. She's like, me being alive right now just means God doesn't want me. Yeah, Alex Henriel. She had gotten some kind of Botox injection that went completely wrong. But let's go ahead and, start the video back up again.
They do nothing to enhance debate, and it only makes the offending party look immature. That is all. End rant. Continue the video.
Skipping because of stark inability to understand where I was coming from on an issue that should have been put to rest a while ago. More skipping. But you know, if we make a commentary in his video and we skip portions of his video, he'll probably be very upset. He'll probably say, you guys missed my point because you skipped the blah, 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 blah.
In essence, while BlackBusterCritic overreacted to a troll, the commentary community overreacted to a black man on the internet.
Exactly.
This is quite the overused argument, because I could turn it on its head and say that you overreacted to me, a white man's take on BBC, because you indulged in harping on me months after the entire event died down. And this argument can be...
He's not harping on you for just... He's harping on what you said. That's what he's doing, and the way you acted. That's what he's doing. Because you really did show your ass and make the commentating community look pretty terrible. Yeah, Youngblood is getting pretty bitchy.
Easily destroyed because you admitted BBC overreacted to Gligar. So in essence, BBC overreacted to a white furry troll on the internet. Hope your savior can live with that.
Damn. Hope your savior can live with that. Wow. And this is why I say Youngblood can't get on my level. He can't even keep his cool. He lets his emotions cloud his judgment and his mind, which is why he can't make any points.
The final point of discussion, getting back to basics in the commentary community. If the BlackBusterCritic proved anything to the commentary community, it's that the focus of your commentary needs to be about what is said by the people in the video and not about the aesthetics of the entire video.
BBC made 46-minute commentaries that went as slow as molasses. How is he an archetype for any commentary, sir?
And I told you time and time again, Youngblood, I told all of you guys that they're long because there's so much wrong with the video. Good God. But then again, he doesn't care about the facts. He doesn't care about the information. He takes face value, the time, and the number of videos he made. That's his point. Not the points inside the videos. Not all the terrible points that his friends have made, that he also made.
Why do we have to waste our time sitting through 46 minutes of him talking over points in a slow, circuitous, rambling way? Does that...
In a rambling way? All my points in those videos were straight to the point. I showed video proof of what I was talking about. I showed screenshots of what I was talking about. And just like you, Youngblood, I had to pull out a book to make a point too. Because one of the points your friends made is that, what was that? Oh yeah, no one knows what a boycott is. That was one of the points your friends made. No one knows what a boycott is. Now I had to pull out a history book and show that according to your friend, no one, us in general, has a 6th grade knowledge level of knowledge in history. See, he needs to watch those videos. It seems like he didn't watch them. I wonder why. Maybe because I was tearing his friends a new asshole with my big black cock, just piercing them one after the other like a shish kebab. A commentating shish kebab. Just straight through their chest. Rotisserie style. Straight through their brains. More specifically. Yeah, my dick pretty much went straight through their brain. Pretty much. But then again, Youngblood can't comment about the points that I made if he didn't watch the videos. And like I said, he's only concentrating on how long they are, but not the fact that his friends made a lot of terrible points, lied, and spread misinformation, which evidently is not important to Youngblood. Youngblood doesn't care if you're spreading misinformation and lying about something. As long as you're doing it the way he wants you to, then it's fine.
You mean all of our commentaries need to be like this? A belabored, slow, excruciating process where we dissect every single word a person says? Dude.
You're the one that went to the dictionary for the word aura. You dissected a word.
If I had used BBC's template, I could be talking about you for hours on end. But in the real world, few people have...
Not really, because this guy is merely giving his opinion, and he's not really stating it as a fact or anything like that. So you can't really make a long commentary on that. All you can do is really give your opinion about his opinion. But even within this video, you still lied. You're still covering up some things that happened to you in the past with me. And you're still saying the very same statements that we've been asking you to prove for a year.
The patience for that. If anything, what you propose is the most complicated process ever in order to properly execute a commentary. Back to basics, my ass.
If the aesthetics of the video are detracting you from what is being said by the person, then you can comment on it. This, however, does not apply to introductions from other people's videos. So if another person's intro bothers you too much, the best plan of action is to edit it out from your own video and skip it entirely.
Question. What if someone was pretentious enough to make a 1.5-minute intro with over-the-top Sony Vegas effects and flying text, and then immediately after we are treated to bad editing, bad audio quality, and bad video quality? Are you seriously going to say that does not apply to anything?
Well, he said if it's distracting you from the video to the point where you can't hear what the person's saying, of course, by all means. But then again, let's make a commentary about this guy's opinion. Let's just counter his opinion with my opinion, which really doesn't do anything. And yeah, let's cut out bits of their video. Let's cut out bits of their video and talk about the bits that were cut out so that no one else can hear it.
What kind of arbitrary and baseless recommendations are these? We can criticize as much as we want regarding intros, so again, please get off your lofty pedestal.
Unfortunately, this point was not heard by the people that bitched about four-wheelers intros, but I digress. They'll eventually learn their lesson.
Their lesson about what? If Four-Wheeler didn't make such low-grade intros, we wouldn't have spent our time criticizing them. Perhaps Four-Wheeler could have resolved the situation.
I just can't believe that they're even discussing the whole intro thing when all you have to do is skip it. All you gotta do is take that cursor and just drag it. I mean, seriously, if a guy's intro is a minute long, just skip the intro.
By making better intros. Turning intros into 30-second odysseys, then abruptly ending them kind of makes the intro look shoddy and overstated.
This is a little annoying though, seeing all these damn characters. And I think that's a wrestler right there. I do dislike bad Photoshop.
So I hope everyone has learned something from today. Hopefully you can use this knowledge to help better yourself in 2013 and help provide a level playing field for everyone in the commentary community. So until next time, this has been Robeezy. Be well.
And watch how people disregard your advice, as it shows your clear bias, your lack of forethought, and how implausible they appear to be, as they cannot be used in any practical situation. And that's the way it is. I suppose you feel like you're Thomas More after writing Utopia because you managed to establish actual rules and recommendations that this community should follow. You should be proud of yourself because these rules and recommendations, while they are intended for the betterment of the community, do nothing except demonstrate how arbitrary and ridiculous they actually are. And I feel as though you appear almost uncaring to people who have legitimate critique against you. I say this because I have noticed in the comments section you summarily dismiss people that go against you. My advice, inflating your ego and quickly rejecting what other people have to say, does not help at all, and it kind of makes you look like a prick. If you cannot take advice, I suggest you stop making videos that try to aid the community, because if you want to be this one-sided and not listen to any counter-arguments, then I believe you should be in no position to give advice. Don't be proud of your bias. Ever. P.S. Obviously stealing TOG Professor's shtick totally does not make you look like another uninspired commentator who relies heavily on other people for material and humor. Anyway, that's all I have to say about this. This is Youngbloodfantasy. And ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you all in the brighter later.
Poor Youngie. No, this guy was an idiot for pulling a trolling card because, in fact, his video wasn't that bad at all. He was merely stating his own opinions of what he thinks the commentating community should do and how they could possibly better things. There isn't really much to commentate on. He really should not have pulled the trolling card. I can squirm my way out of anything by going to the dictionary and looking up aura. I can squirm out of anything by saying you're an elitist or you're pretentious. I'm still just kind of blown away that a man has not learned or accepted anything for nearly a year. We're nearly at the year mark, nearly, and he still has the same points that he has yet to prove. That's so immature. I mean, if you're going to lose, just lose gracefully.